A parable by Dad. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Katie who, from her earliest memories, wanted a pink Volkswagen Beetle. I want a slug bug, not a sister.
That's nice.
It went back that far.
When she was 5 years old, she told her great-grandma Raider that she wanted a pink slug bug. Great-grandma Raider told her, when you are old enough to get a driver's license, your dad will buy you one.
True story.
Oh, do you think so? Katie said. He said, yes, he will, Great-grandma said. I wish I had a slug bug. That's a picture that you made my Chuck Norris cake, Danny. My Walker Texas Ranger cake.
I made that.
I like that cake. It's like my favorite cake. Okay. As time went on, she would occasionally talk of the day she would have a pink slug bug, but she was too young to have a car. Are you getting me a pink slug bug? Keep okay. Then before you knew it, she was about to turn 16 and was taking driver's training. Katie, just give it up and ski, says Christina. I say, I'd rather be riding in a slug bug. One day, she tried to have a serious talk with her dad about getting her pink slug bug, but he told her he didn't have enough money.
I want a close-up of that picture.
Once again, Katie went to bed wanting that pink slug bug, but then this night was different. Before she fell asleep, she kept saying to herself, there must be a way, there must be a way. And then she drifted off to sleep. That night, she began to dream. The wildest dream. Me sleeping. But really...
That was last night?
But really, this was this morning. You told me to go back to bed.
Pretend.
Okay.
This is a parable.
She dreamed Uncle Dan would help her. He likes to find things, and one day he searched the whole country, wide and far, for a pink beetle. Volkswagen doesn't make a pink beetle, so how could he find one?
He's searching.
Here's Uncle Dan at the computer.
To his surprise, he located 4 and immediately called Phil to tell him his great discovery.
Did you really?
But no picture on this one, so I don't know why I'm doing that.
I must have forgot that.
Oh, you're funny, Dad.
There's your slug bug.
That night when Phil went to bed, he dreamed a dream. Pink beetles dance in his head.
How did you get a picture of your
Skip
dad?
a page.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, the author knows. Uh-oh.
Oh, I missed this one. Dan called Phil at the office. Dan told Phil of his discovery. Phil was buried in paperwork at his desk and had no time for pink beetles.
That's
That's exactly what his desk looks
It's
like.
not made up, no.
And then I'm supposed to show the pink. Okay, there's the pink beetles. I'll show you. Okay, that night when Phil went to bed and he dreamed a dream. Pink beetles dance in his head. Okay, you already saw that one. Okay. Chapter 2. Phil and Dad's Big Adventure. Oh, I want to get to the end of this. Okay. A Dream in a Dream. Saturday night, March 27th, 2010. Phil calls and inquires about a car Dan found on the internet. Phil says to himself, this is the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. I just agreed to buy a car from some guy I never met. I've never driven this car because I've seen it in 3 pictures on the internet. You bought it?
This is a dream, Katie.
Oh.
Did you pay attention to the story?
Okay, there's
It's
the
a
picture.
dream in a dream. You know what's going on here? You're having a dream, and in your dream, I'm having a dream.
As soon as Phil makes the deal, he calls Dan on the phone and says, you got me into this mess, so now you will have to go with me to Dallas, Texas and help me adventure begins. Did you and Danny have like a little photo shoot or something?
Spending quality time.
What? How are we on a plane together?
It's still a dream.
Oh, okay. Tuesday, March 30th, 2010, 4:15 p.m. Phil and Dan board Southwest Airlines Flight 345 to Love Field, Dallas, Texas with one-way tickets. Wait, how did you do this?
They rented a plane.
You're actually on a plane.
He was dreaming.
Okay.
It's a very realistic dream.
Dad, how did you do this? Okay, there's a thing. 8:15 p.m. Love Field, Dallas, Texas. Phil and Dan met with the girl and her dad who are selling the pink Volkswagen New Beetle. She has had the car for 2 years and got the car on her 16th birthday. Her dad had painted Sweet 16 pink. Wait, how did you... Okay, there's two people with a really cool bug. There it is. By 9 o'clock p.m., Phil and Dan exit Dallas Airport and head north to Minnesota. Wait, how? Wait. Like the most...
The look on her face is worth a million words.
As the head north, they stop for something
As they head north.
No, as the. It says the.
Typo.
As they head north, they stop for something to eat at a McDonald's about 10 o'clock and then continue to drive into Oklahoma, stopping at Motel 6 in Muskogee. Muskogee? Dan parks around the side of the motel. Phil goes in and rents a room with 2 beds, not wanting the clerk to see that 2 men driving in a pink Volkswagen in a motel together in Muskogee.
Yeah, we worry a lot.
Wait, Dan, how did you get next to a pink
Shut
Volkswagen?
there.
Yeah.
I think you should have had a
How did you like get away? Wait. Oh, there's pictures. Phil and Dan rise early to avoid the locals getting the drop on the new guys in town with a pink car. They stop at the local establishment and get breakfast before leaving town. The waitress notices the car and begins admiring it. Dan tells her, "It's not really our car!"
She's good looking too, hasn't she, Dad?
No.
No.
She was nice though.
There's more pictures. Dan and Phil get the eye from many people and decide to get out of Oklahoma as fast as possible. Several cars pull up alongside and give the thumbs up. Along the way, a car full of guys drive up and give the frilly finger wave.
Who's driving?
This is a long book, Dad.
Oh.
Okay, more pictures. Danny's driving. Oh, they're in Iowa now. Okay, on through Kansas, they blazed the trail and into Iowa. Stopped at a Subway for lunch where the women clerks were making a shift change. They noticed the pink Beetle parked around towards back and out of the way. One of them remarked it must belong to the 2 nice old ladies eating outside at the picnic table. Kansas said nothing and finished up and slipped out, trying not to go straight into the pink Beetle.
Good story.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, as soon as Phil and Dan were back in Minnesota, then back home, then ... blank. Phil wakes up from his dream! Phil says to himself, "I can't believe the dream I just had. It was so real." He's woken up and surprised. At the same moment, there is a noise in the house. Katie begins to stir and then wakes from her dream. She has overslept. It's her birthday, and there's a party going on. Oh, there's a party going on. Katie goes downstairs and sees Great Grandma. Great Grandma says, "Yes, Katie, dreams come true." And she lived happily ever after. The end.